Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dhiraj Pandey. I am from BIT Sindri. So, the topic that today we are going to deal is Coulomb's law. It is a topic taken from the chapter Electrostatics, and it is one of the most important topic that we are going to deal. So, talking about the Coulomb's law, what is it and how it can be derived? For Coulomb's law, it was said that this Coulomb's law generally acts or generally says that the force that is acting between two charges, like we have got two charges, say charge q1 and charge q2, that are the point charges, q1 and q2. So we have got two charges that are separated by some distance r. So what does Coulomb say? That the force acting between these two charges is directly proportional to the product of charges. That means Q1 into Q2 is directly proportional to force. Let it to be equation number 1. And he also said that the force is inversely proportional to square of separation between them. So that's fine. This, what we can understand from this, that the force is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Let us take an example. Suppose, when I was a child, I used to play with magnets. So what we did, that we take two magnets and we just try to push the one magnet with the help of another magnet, or we try to pull one magnet with the help of another magnet. So if I am pushing a magnet, so it requires a repulsive force. While if I'm pulling a magnet, it required attractive force. So this attractive force as well as repulsive force not only acts on magnet, it acts between charges as well. Like I have got two magnets and it is at some separation this. If I replace this magnet with a bigger one, so what will happen? The force between these two magnets will increase. If I replace the magnet with a smaller one, the force between these two magnets will decrease. Likewise, the same is the property with charges. If we have got two charges and we replace a charge with a greater charge, the value or the force of attraction or repulsion will increase. If we replace the charge with a smaller charge, the force of attraction or repulsion will decrease. That was the thing that the Coulomb defined. So he said the force is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to square of separation between them. So again, moving back to the same thing. So what we can do, that we can write it combinedly. So force is directly inversely proportional to Q1 into Q2 and by R square. So force is directly proportional to Q1 into Q2 by R square. So if we remove the sign of proportionality and we take it as K, the constant sign, it will be equal to Q1 into Q2 by R square. So let us assume, let us find the value of K. So K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So 1 by 4 pi is the region of the charges that they enclose. Suppose that a charge encloses a circular region, so the angle between it will be 2 pi, while the angle between the second charge will be 2 pi. So 2 pi and 2 pi, it is a 4 pi, and this epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity, means the permission that the air or vacuum has given them to apply force within themselves or within some medium. Okay, so if instead of air, can the charges be placed in water? Can the charges be placed in oil? Yes, sir. The charges can be placed anywhere, but it should be a medium where their force can exist. Like if we take the medium to be purely conductor, so there this charge will start flowing because conductors are good conductors allow charges to flow, and they will finally they will attract themselves and they will resolve themselves. So the case is this epsilon naught is absolute permittivity. Epsilon naught is equal to absolute permittivity. Epsilon naught is equal to absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity. So if it is absolute permittivity, So it definitely it has got some value, that is 8.86 into 10 to the power minus 12. And this k, that was a constant, it has also got some value, that is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9. So talking about the units, it is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So what does Coulomb actually say? That the force that is acting between two charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. But apart from this, there is something different phenomena that also governs the force that is acting between two charges. Yes, that is nothing more than a medium. Means in what medium we are going to keep. So we can also rewrite it as F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon r q1 into q2 upon r square. So that is the governing factor, epsilon naught and epsilon r also. So epsilon naught and epsilon r also governs the force that is acting between the charges. Let us take an example. If I am waving my hands over here like this in a particular pattern, or I am just waving my hand. So the medium here is air. So this air, that medium allows me or gives me the permission to wave it easily. Likewise, if I am inside water and the water is till my neck, and again this time I want to wave my hand. So for the same velocity, that of air, I would require more amount of force or a greater amount of force. But if the force is constant for air as well as the water, the velocity would gradually decrease because the water has got more density than air. If water has got more density, means what the force that is acting in air is greater than the force acting in water. Definitely. So that is the thing on what force also depends upon. So Coulomb's law also said that the force is directly proportional to the product of charges, inversely proportional to square of distance between them, and finally it also depends upon the medium in which it is kept. But the medium is a fixed quantity, so it is taken to be a constant, because if the charges are kept in air, so for every time the medium that we are going to consider will be air. If the charge is kept in oil, for every time the medium will be oil. If likewise, if we go on changing the medium, the force acting on the medium will also change, but definitely the value of that medium or dielectric constant will be fixed. So that's it for today. Thank you.